I've looked for love in all the same old places. Found the bottom of the bottle's always dry. But when you pulled out your heart, I couldn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. And you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And honey, I stay stoned on your love all the time. I made some new pieces. I made 3 pieces as a gift, but I made this for myself. 2 pieces I found here in Arkansas. And so I've been reading this scripture, Proverbs chapter 24, verses 17 and 18, where it says, do not rejoice when you see your enemy stumble, or when you see them get their karma, lest the Lord see it, be mad, and turn his anger away from you. And this is a verse, like, I found a lot of verses in Proverbs which really blew my mind and changed my perspective and enlightened me. Because a lot of times we'll be in the right about something, but we'll see somebody get their karma instantly, or even a matter of time. And we'll laugh and we'll be like, yeah, you know, we even gloat sometimes, like, yeah, you know, you shouldn't fuck with me, like, I'm protected, you know. But when we gloat and we laugh and we rejoice in that, God sees that and he frowns upon it. Because when God is love, and when you truly have love in your heart, it hurts you to see any person suffer. So if you're looking at your enemy and you're rejoicing in their suffering, it means your heart isn't pure. You want to see them suffer because you suffer. And it's the same as when he says, vengeance is mine, I will repay. It's not up to us to dictate that justice or even gloat. And so when God sees this, he turns his anger away. He stops that karma that was going to be your justice just because you sat there and laughed at it. Because he's not, when you do that, you exalt your own ego, and you also express the bitterness in your heart. That's not something to delight in. And so this is something like where I experienced firsthand. And so when I read the scripture, it blew my mind. And today is the new moon in Scorpio. And I've been noticing, like, a lot of people have been triggering me, rage baiting me, and trying to manifest on this day for me. Manifest their desires in my life. But the thing about energy is, all energy is translated, everything is energy. And it's translated into colors when we see vision. It's translated into sound when we hear. It's translated through feel when we feel things. Every sense is translated through vibration. Now when we read, it's translated through text. Each letter has a vibration. Each number has a vibration. And there are even scales of measurements that have vibration. And so it's kind of like Bob Ross when he said, there are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents. And you see this man brilliantly paint landscapes, and he messes up, but there are no mistakes. A lot of times when you paint, painting is a lot different from drawing. And so you can't use an eraser and you can't erase it. You have to make the image. You have to work with the flaw. Kind of like if it was on your body, you had a scar, you might heal it to become closest as it was, and then you may put a tattoo over it, or you may put a piercing there. You have to work with the flaws that you have or the mistakes that you made in your life, because you can't go back. And so when we get negative energy, a lot of times light workers and people who are religious or people who worship God, they tend to struggle with negative energy when they receive it. They might lash out or rage or do something negative or reciprocate that energy. And that's not what you want to do, because when you reciprocate that energy, anything you put into the universe, it returns back to you. So I'm thinking about this on this day of manifestation on Scorpio, and this is death and rebirth. See, the old me, a childish me, a teenage me, a younger version of me would love to do tit for tat, to repay evil for evil, eye for an eye. But at this big age, and I'm coming into enlightenment, working on my crown chakra, I'm understanding, like, I removed my ego, and I'm understanding that it's just energy. You could take that negative energy, which you may have turned in your vessel as anger, but you could take that anger or that sadness or any emotion that's negative, and you can alchemize it into anything, into singing, into writing, poetry, into music, into working, into doing anything. And so when someone gives you energy, you don't want to, if it's negative, you don't want to match that frequency. Alchemy happens in the heart and in the mind. You want to take that energy and alchemize it. You want to take that mistake that's on the canvas and you want to say, like, what does it look? Oh, it kind of looks like a tree, or it kind of looks like a mountain. And you say, okay, I know what I could add to this. I know what I could do to this. I know what I could do with this energy. I'm angry, I'm frustrated right now. I could have, some great sex. I could hit the gym and max out. I could go for a run. I could do some push-ups. I could finish that work that I've been putting on the back burner. I could clean my entire house. I could get focused and take this energy and accomplish something. And so on this Scorpio new moon, it's dealing with death and rebirth, and the old me is dead. And so being reborn, it's like now I'm consciously taking this energy, because some people know what to do with dark energy, and some people, they let the darkness destroy them. But when you're the light has power over the darkness. That's consciousness. You can consciously choose what you want to do. You don't have to operate off of your subconscious, even though it's 85% of the brain that we don't access. We have this consciousness, and we can consciously choose what to do. We can pause. We can do certain techniques, meditate, chant, take a break, walk away. We could do different exercises to channel this energy positively. And on a day like today, it's actually a blessing, because the more people sending energy at you, you know how to deal with the positive energy. You love it. You accept it. It increases your vibration. But the negative energy, if you don't know how to deal with it, if the darkness, you walk into there and you don't know how to see or how to adapt to it, it can hurt you or hinder you or cause you to do something, even frighten you, or cause you to do something which you regret. But on a day like today, you could take all energy. All things work for the good of those that love the Lord. The darkness and the light. Even the devil works for God. You see this in the book of Job. And so it's a blessing. You could take this energy, alchemize it, and you have even more energy to manifest and reach newer heights.